What's going on? Welcome to While You're Loading, episode 10, surprisingly. We've been doing this for how many weeks now? 10 weeks.
More than 10.
More than 10 weeks.
It's been off weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Because we're doing Let's Plays now. But, so this week we felt like we would switch.
Shameless plug.
Switch it up a little bit. And because there is so much Nintendo Switch news that is out, let's talk about that.
Yes.
Let's talk only strictly about Nintendo Switch news because as a Nintendo hater and Nintendo... No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a hater. But
You're a Nintendo Wii U hater.
I'm a Nintendo Wii U hater. But as someone who was really skeptical, and you guys were very positive about it going into it, like I'm very curious to see what you guys think about the reveal, the 3.5-minute trailer that came out a couple days ago. Mm-hmm. So, what do you guys think?
When I saw it, I was stoked. I'm like, this is what the Wii U should have been. I feel like everyone can agree with that.
Yeah.
This is...
For sure.
Even design-wise, for what the controller gamepad thing is going to be, it looks a lot better. Doesn't look as bulky as the Wii U did. A comment that I saw online was that the screen isn't recessed, which is going to make it way easier to take care of.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've tried the clean Wii U gamepad. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's like a touchscreen from 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a responsive screen, but it's just the fact that it's recessed makes it hard to really get the stuff
It was called a composite? Is that what it's called? I forgot it starts with a C.
I don't remember.
But it's like the screen that you have
idea.
to... It's like the early Android screens where you have to push it down to get it to work, but that's what it was like.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. We've seen 4 games so far. 4?
Zelda...
6 games. Okay. So Zelda,
Mario,
Skyrim, NBA, Splatoon, and Mario Kart.
Yep.
One of them we knew was going to be on the system.
What's that?
Zelda.
Well, yeah, okay.
We could say that we knew there was going to be a Mario.
Yeah, I mean...
Because there's always a Mario at launch. Always.
I'm going to take a guess that there's going to be a Smash Bros. As well. Like, yeah.
At launch?
Smash, not a new one at launch.
Not a new one, but yeah, I think there'll be.
I think there'll be a version with all the DLC available.
Yeah,
it's what they're rumored to do with Mario Kart 8. Is that they're just porting it over.
Exactly, with all the DLC, maybe like improved graphics.
Which I think is super smart to do with Smash because there's so many characters that was added on.
Yeah,
playing it a couple days ago, I didn't realize.
And I think making a new game of that would just be a waste because there's so many characters and things that were still with the old one.
I wouldn't mind them doing some extra levels or something like that too.
No, there's definitely it'll probably be like a season 2, like for any additional DLC.
Yeah.
What I would like to see them do is if they do that and they have it available at launch, they do what Sony did with games on the PlayStation 3 going to the PlayStation 4, where if you have it, you can spend maybe just like $10 or whatever and get the upgraded version digitally.
Yeah.
I think that's the smartest way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, people probably would still buy the hard copies or whatever. But I mean, I think you'll get a higher turnover rate at launch if you do it in a more cost-effective manner, so people aren't buying the same exact game twice for full price.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they're gonna have to address people that have it on the Wii U versus people that are gonna buy it on the Switch. But as Colin, who we like to always quote on the show, always says, it's like, well, it's a new system, it's a new generation. Like, sorry, that's kind of the tricks of the trade.
Yeah,
you got to buy it again sometimes, which is shitty, but that might be what it boils down to. Because one thing that I noticed in this trailer, there's like nothing that pertains to the Wii U in this at all. There's not even a W in the trailer at all. There's nothing.
No, I mean, and they don't need to be. I mean, there was a bit of a stigma with the Wii U where people said, "Oh, it's a bad system. It's not a next gen system."
Yeah,
and I think that the Switch is a good effort to get away from that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's a next gen system, but through like innovation purposes, then yeah, it is next gen.
Yeah, I think it's super innovative, and I think it's great too because it can switch from kind of like casual on the go gaming, or you're sitting at your house and you're going to dedicate 4 hours to playing this.
Yeah, that's so cool because then I can maybe I don't want to stay at my house all day, and then I want to go to the park and hang out with some friends, and then I can still take it with me, and I got like 5 to 6 hours potentially, which I'm sure we're going to talk about battery life to actually go and play the game. So
I think that's one of the problems with the Wii U is because at the time, one, of course, I've said this before, it was poor marketing, but like also it was very the 3DS, people loved the 3DS. It sold really super well. It sold better than PS4 and the Xbox One combined. And that's because it's on the go and you can work for casual gamers. And with the Wii U, it's like, okay, you have to sit at home and do this. And
and you have a second screen that isn't totally a second screen.
Right. Yeah. And it didn't work. It wasn't what they needed to do. And I think they realized it with this next thing because they're like, okay, let's combine these two. Like, here's a console and here's something on the go. Like, and I think that was really, really smart and it's innovative.
Which is like what you said, combining a sure thing with
a gamble.
Yeah, with a gamble. Which is smart because that is putting a gun to your head. Like, if this fails, then we are out of hardware.
I don't think it's going to fail. I do not think it's going to fail. And I think that the price will be good. I'm going to guess $350.
Yeah, I would say $300, $350.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to say $299. Yeah, because I'm looking at what the Wii is currently priced at right now, and I'm looking at overall the tablet market and mobile market, how competitively everything is priced. It's going to be a tough sell to try and convince people, especially for a Nintendo system, which I know they're getting away from history, but it's still Nintendo, and they still have to slowly shed that skin. I think they still have to price it competitively in order for it to sell.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'm thinking, okay, maybe then I say highest $350.
Highest $350 for sure. Because I think if you go $350 with it being still a new console, it still could compete with PS4 and Xbox One because those are at $299 for the standard model.
Correct.
And they're both having new models coming out, which are going to be priced above that.
Correct.
So I think that's a good range for them to be at. It's the most likely range for them to be at. So I think Nintendo knows if they go 400 or higher, no one's going to want it.
No.
I mean, people are still going to get it, but it's not going to be...
In your head, you immediately compare it to everything else that's out.
And
absolutely.
It's not going to be the Hail Mary that they need.
Exactly.
And then people are going to be like, oh, well, why the Nintendo over the PS4?
If it's $300, which is what I think they're going to try and go for, they may not be successful in that. I think that's like guaranteed success. $300, I think this thing is probably not going to stay on store shelves for at least half a year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and at least we're talking 10 solid games at launch. There is no way that the thing stays on shelves.
Yeah.
No way.
Let's talk about games with this too, because this is probably the most important thing that's going to come out of this. We talked about the 6 that we know are coming, and one of the things that Nintendo has always had going for them, but it's also been kind of a hindrance as their first-party games, where, you know, the adage is, if you're buying a Nintendo system, you're buying the first party. That's why you got a Wii U. Not because you wanted to play Arkham City on it.
Yeah.
You know, you could play it on 2 systems before that came out on Wii U, and better on those systems. But something
so you got the third party.
I got the third party picture up here.
Which there are a lot of them.
Have you seen this yet? I was
shocked by that. Yeah, I did. I read the list.
So some ones that we could have expected: Capcom, Atlas. Atlas has always been really good on the 3DS. Not a surprise. Activision, not really surprised either. Ones that did kind of catch me off guard. I mean, not one of them not so because we saw it in the trailer. Bethesda with Skyrim.
I think that caught me off guard.
Seeing Skyrim caught me off guard, but now seeing that they're dedicated to making content for it, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
So, as a little bit of a side note, are we thinking we're going to see Fallout 4?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I don't
on the Switch.
I don't think so.
Oh man,
I don't know.
It's a maybe because we're getting the definitive edition of Skyrim on the NX.
This is the high definition port.
That's why they have the Switch.
Yeah,
Switch.
That's why they went in there like 20
times in the trailer.
But it being the definitive edition of Skyrim, that seems to me like we might see a Fallout on that system.
We might see it. I think it'd be really cool. I mean, imagine playing Fallout on the go.
Yeah.
I mean, Skyrim on the go is going to be awesome as it is.
It's going to be incredible, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't... I mean, I didn't think about it, but now that you say... I don't know. I don't feel like it will be. Because so many people already play it on... I don't know.
On their current system.
Yeah.
You could say the same thing for Skyrim, but...
That's true, but Skyrim, I don't know. I feel like...
It's different than Fallout.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe it's because I'm biased towards it because I love Skyrim.
I mean, like I said, we could see it. I think the reason why they're doing Skyrim is because they were already working on the new edition of it.
Yeah.
Fallout, if we see it, it'll probably be later somewhere down the line. Yeah. It's possible. I'm actually starting to think probably not because Bethesda really is focused on making their new games. They say they have 2 new IPs going. And we might see those on the Switch.
They also do. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, so they also do a pretty good job of splitting teams off too, because like with you'll have like the Dishonored, and then
Good point.
Well, Dishonored's made by Arcane. It's published by Bethesda.
Published by Bethesda, excuse me. But I'm thinking of back when they did New Vegas, and then when they were they had one team working on New Vegas, and they had another team working on the main.
Well, I thought New Vegas was Obsidian.
I thought they. Shit. Well, yeah, you
plus,
might be right.
Plus, when I
which
was
in that case, yeah, you might be right. Which in that case, yeah, maybe not.
Fallout was like, I went to the store the other day and it was like $20, and I'm like,
you know what it was? Because people were saying New Vegas was better. Yeah, you're right.
So I was like, because that's why I'm like, I don't think so, because I feel like people are already done playing it. So
yeah.
Okay, go on.
So we got that From Software really caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Because From Software, they make Dark Souls games.
Oh yeah, I know.
Armored Core, which apparently they're working on.
There's always new Armored Core games on your system, though, isn't there? Like I feel like that's like the throw-in garbage dumpster bin game. But
Armored Core is a great IP, though. Armored Core is really good.
There's been some bad Armored Core games.
There's been some. I mean, there's bad every game, but Armored Core itself it's a game that people are getting excited for because there hasn't been a new one
in a while.
Yeah. Epic Games.
That was a little shocking.
Yeah.
But I feel like at the same time, Epic Games not doing so great right now. I think they're thirsty to dole out for anybody.
And I want to point something out.
Well, Epic is because they have Unreal 4.
Yeah.
So that's part of where that comes in.
I want to point something out really quick before I forget it, because I know I will. Okay, so people might see all these third-party, games on here, and they're like, okay, big deal. Like, why would I buy it for the Nintendo Switch versus a PS4 or whatever that I already have? It's like, well, think about the people, unlike us, who have like every system. Think about the people. It's like, okay, you get to choose between the PS4, the Xbox, and the Nintendo. Oh, look at the Nintendo. You get all those first-party games that everybody loves, especially kids. Yeah. And then all this added content. It's like, clearly that's my choice.
Which takes me back to being a kid, where it's like your parents are like, okay, it's Christmas time. You get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know. I have no idea what to decide. But that, you're right, helps with, okay, which one do I want to go with? I have first-party games with Nintendo, and I know they're going to be solid. So.
Yeah. And then, and we always say Let's Plays are huge now, and a lot of people are watching and they want to play these games, but maybe they only have the Nintendo. Well, now the Nintendo's going to be able to play those games. Exactly. So if you wonder why, I mean, that's why. It's for those people that only get one system, and now they're going to be able to play all those games.
Yeah.
Whereas PS4, you're not going to be able to play a Nintendo game.
No, and the other thing to think about, too, I mean, on top of first-party stuff, and now we're having a good showing of third-party, too, another thing that Nintendo, I think, really did good with the Wii U, and it's part of the reason why I was still considering getting one, is the fact that you have the Virtual Console, which is a big deal. I mean, for me, I want to play some of the games that I grew up with, like, Mario Kart 64, and older Zelda games, stuff like that. And they're stupidly expensive to find physical versions of, and I don't want to emulate everything because they're not always good emulations.
Yeah.
And sometimes I want to, sit at home, play it on my TV, and not look at my computer screen all day.
Yeah.
And that's a big up too, because that they're going to put that on the Switch.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good.
Was there anybody else that you were surprised by? I don't know if you have that list still up.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, because a lot of them are ones that, even if they haven't been massive on Nintendo, they've still done stuff. Like Spike Chunsoft has been doing a lot on Nintendo recently. You have Ubisoft, where they got the Just Dance games, and EA always publishes stuff on it.
Yeah.
TT Games was all the Lego games.
Focusing on Ubisoft a little bit more, that would be cool to see. I know you guys don't like the Assassin's Creed franchise as much as you used to.
It could show up on it. Assassin's Creed 3 was on the Wii U.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I'm just saying though,
it could be on there, but I'm thinking of along the lines of giving you extra content, putting more emphasis on buying it on that system rather than any other system, since they are. I don't want to say like in bed with Nintendo, but they have a really good relationship with them.
I mean, we had a whole talk about that.
Yeah, that could be a thing where you can get better content for Assassin's Creed. I mean, because whatever we want to say about their third party history with third parties, they are going in the future going to have to pay more money to third parties to give more emphasis on people wanting to get games on that system. Similar to what Sony's doing right now with Activision. So
it's definitely something that I see happening. Especially if the system does well at launch.
Yeah.
If it does well at launch, then they're definitely going to have, the expendable money to go say, hey, can we get this DLC first?
They might have to. It might be a case where they have to start hemorrhaging a little bit, and they might have to kind of pull the trigger early. Yeah, and just say, we're going to take I don't think they're going to sell anything at a loss starting off, because I don't think they can afford that right now. But I think that they are going to have to go into the piggy bank a little bit to get some money, so that way they could get those exclusives on third parties and stuff like that early on. So that way people kind of like, you get like, so like let's say there's a new game that comes out, some new Assassin's Creed game or some new Ubisoft game that comes out, and they pay X amount of dollars.
Like Watch Dogs.
Yeah, they pay X amount of dollars to Ubisoft to get that exclusive content on there, so people in their head think, okay, that game Nintendo, that game Sony, that game Microsoft. Similar how Sony and Microsoft do it. So, yeah.